Hello, everybody. I don't just waiting on here our special guests. We are camping here. Let's see here.
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
Can you see? Can you see me? Can Can you see me? Oh, here we go. Okay, got it. Yeah, I was on. It had like two different links, and then let's see. Is my chat? Can we see my chat? Or we? Okay. Hey, Matt. Okay. We got a little light rain here, so we'll see. If not, we'll have to plan two. We'll go in the car. How you doing, Matt? I'm good. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm ready. My pleasure. My pleasure, Michelle. All right. You got it. You got it, Michelle. You you got it. Now, my pleasure. Are we seeing two chats? Are we able to see my chat room? Because I was on it. Okay. Yeah. Can't see the let's see here. Can't quite see the comments. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy. All right. Should I hit that little orange button on the bottom? Let's see. I'm gonna Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I can't see my chat, but they're on there, right? Uh, okay, great. All right, because I was on my live and then it. Okay. All right, good. Hello, everybody. I can't see the chat, but I hope everybody's doing well. Those who are there. Okay. Good. It's perfect. 30 degrees cooler, about an hour from Vegas, Michelle, and a little light rain, but it's nice. Good to get away. Good to get away. We'll be here for a little bit. So, okay. Hey, Chevy. I can hear you. We're trying to get my chat. We're trying to get my chat, Chevy. They were there right before the live, but now I can't see my chat or any chat. Okay. But they're on there, but they can see, they can see us all, correct? Yeah. Uh, okay. Take your time. Hey, Jody. Okay. So there's this blue thing on top, Chevy, to my right. I'm on my phone. I'm camping. So I'm on my phone here. It says this is to your. Go ahead and hit that. Okay. We don't. All right, but they. So right now my chat's frozen. Then I already have the title and everything all set up. Okay. Right. Okay. No. Well, uh, that might be easier. I think. Really. All right, I have an iPad. I have an iPad. Let me get my iPad. I don't know with that. Mm. All right, I'm gonna hit this little. It says this live discussion. This little blue button. I'm gonna hit that, and I can always. Okay, let me try it. Yeah. Go ahead and do. Okay. Okay. Okay, give it a shot. Yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah, I don't have mods, Chevy, on mine, so that could be a dilemma. Okay, let me, what if I just tell him to come on, let's see here. Can you just tell them to come on over to, here, just tell no, can you go on my chat right now? Can you see my chat? Just tell 'em to come on, leave the link to Michelle. Is that easier? Isn't that easier? Just forget my stream, just tell oh, okay, that's no problem. Just if you could, just go on there and sh yeah, it's okay, yeah, yeah, that's good. Just leave a link to Michelle's right now. Put her link if you don't mind. There you go. There you go. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just tell them and get and just okay, okay, alright. We'll just chit chat. Okay, yeah, and you can actually type in there the channel though. Okay, 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 alright. Alright, say okay, and then let me know when you do that, then I'll go and I'll end that live. Yeah, okay, okay, so now you're not gonna see me okay, so now I'm gonna just, I don't know if you'll lose me, but I'm gonna hop off and end that live now. Okay, 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 alright, okay. Thank you, Shippy. Okay, okay. Tell you what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk away real quick and get my well, I can't do that, shoot, I gotta get on. Okay, just let us know. Yeah, I just wanna get my iPad so I can end it. Okay. Guys, gonna enjoy the scene real quick. I'll be right back. You were able to get in. You were able to get in mine and let them know. All right. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and end this live real quick on mine. So I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, I just went on there and told them as well. So now I'm going to go to my studios real quick and try to end this live. Right. Okay. I mean, next time I'll probably be home, so I'll be on my laptop. But yes. Well, hold on, guys. Let me just end this live. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to need a jacket in a little bit, guys. I mean, it's amazing how like an hour away, well, right before we get into this chat, guys, let me end this. It's 30 degrees cooler. It's crazy. All right, let me see here. Try to get this live ended. Yeah, just trying to the internet on both devices. Okay, hold on here. I think we might. Let's see here. Live. Trying to end this live. Hold on, guys. We had a good one tonight. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me try to end this now. Let's see. For some reason, it's not letting me end this live, but we'll just let's see here. Yeah, I'm able to go into the edit, but I just can't get the live ended. I don't want to end this stream. Let's see here. Well, I got the iPad here, so I should be able to. Just won't. I'm in my studio. It just won't let me. Yeah. No, I'm on my YouTube studio. Should I go to the? Okay. Okay, your channel. Hold on, we're getting somewhere here. All right. Okay, I think we got it here. Hold on. Got my ads. Uh, no, no, I'm trying to end this. I'm trying to end the live that I'm on, but I'm not having. It's just not letting me. Okay. All right, let's do that. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, Chevy, we owe you coffee. Perfect. All right. All right. All right. You got it. You got it. Hop on the Chevy. Okay. 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 Let's jump into this. It's my pleasure, Michelle. It's an honor and privilege. Hope everybody's well. It's the Italian. That's right. Thank you. Yeah, it really is. It really is a shame. That's a good question. Like all of us on here. I mean, my mom, who recently passed away. When you have an elderly lady or child or any of us on here, and it just touches you. And okay, it starts, and we all thought that, particularly when we seen the mask guy, it was going to be soft. But it hits our heart. Yes, no, I mean to see a woman, whether it's in Tucson, Jersey, or anywhere. Um, how could you just not feel, for the family, and for Nancy, who does this kind of stuff? So yeah, I when I start watching, I'm like, okay, they're gonna solve this. She's gonna be found. Didn't a lot of us think, okay, maybe she wandered off before we found out what happened? Um, I just can't stop keeping Nancy's name out there. It just hit me really hard because we all have a mom, a grandmom, a mother-in-law, um, and it's just so bizarre, and it really touched my heart. So that's what made me um, investigate. And then as we continue, just our blood pressures just continue going up. It's been a roller coaster, but I'm going to give you some thoughts later on, though. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Has anybody ever seen a crime scene where there's no yellow tape? I mean, whether it's New York, California, has anybody ever seen the first day or two, just no yellow tape? Nothing around the house. That's a crime scene. That house is a crime scene. The street's a crime scene. Is we're all streamers, but and I would have been there too. But how in the hell can they had all the main street media and the YouTubers and the pizza guy just? I mean, that surprised me, Michelle, in the beginning. We all tuned in and I was watching it on the TV. I'm saying, well, where's the tape? Okay, so we give them a little bit. They're not 100% sure. Nancy maybe walked out, had some kind of dementia. But then when you found out that it was a kidnap, that we're all clear, right? That's for sure. How the hell was they were letting, no disrespect to News Nation, and thank goodness Brian Anton and News Nation got and covered that blood spots. And we'll talk about that a little bit. You'll be surprised at my thoughts on that, but that's the biggest surprise. Why wasn't no yellow tape around that house? That's the first thing that detective, when he got there, he should have dispatched to the sheriff or the captain and say, "Hey, I'm here. We got vampire stuff, that red stuff on the step. Okay, crime scene. That's a crime." As soon as they found out, they huddled up. So that was my biggest surprise. Yeah. Right. Well, that's a good question, Michelle. And the answer to that is real quickly, no. I've been on the same from the get go. And look, whenever a person, not all times, sees a person last, they either know something, heard something, or involved somehow. And this isn't us saying this, but this is going from Mr. T, Tommaso, right? He said, "Hey, allegedly, he's his words, not ours, not the chat, right? Not the news, right? Not the family, but this was the sister and him, Tommaso, who said, hey, we took her home." So a high percentage of the time. So no, I've been on that because I'm going what we know. Sometimes we go too far out the box, including myself. I want to stay in that box, you know. And so no, Michelle, I've been. I mean, sure, I've thought of other all my lives and heard some good, perspectives and theories, but I'm still convinced on, from day one. Yeah. So right, right. So again, I want to keep it simple. So they go for so they go for dinner, right? They go have dinner. Um they have good dinner. I believe this was pre-planned. Okay. And I believe for whatever reason, we're gonna be surprised when we find out. And we'll lead into other things towards this live, but I believe they had this dinner. I'm not even 100% convinced that Nancy Guthrie, that beautiful woman, 84 years old, made it back in that house. I know. I'll beat everybody to the chat. Well, Sal, how's that explain that 2 minute garage door opening, right? What happened there? Well, I think this was a group of at least two or three. How many in the chat? I mean, put a one in the chat if you think it was a group, because I think it was an organized. I think this was something they worked out for a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a year. But yes, I want to go on what we know. They had dinner. Supposedly, we don't even know if Tommaso and Annie drove her home together. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. And that's the last anybody's seen Nancy Guthrie. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% convinced they even brought her back in the house. I know the biggest question, well, Sal, how do you explain the vampire stuff, that red stuff, right? How do you explain that? Well, I have a theory on that. I think that backyard. Now, everybody watched Brian Itton, his latest video. I think you had it. You're gonna show it in a little bit, probably, right? That wooded area on that full moon on January 31st. It's a possibility that somebody, not the perp, we don't know, but somebody came in that backyard, on that full moon from the back artery, streets from behind at some point, walked there, was actually in that house and opened that garage. And I think very quickly she was unalive, Nancy Guthrie. And the garage door opened from there. I believe Tommaso was in that area, in my opinion. Not necessary. And by the way, and I don't want to jump ahead too far ahead, Michelle. Remember this: it was 5 to 6 weeks. That blue Honda, that CRV Tommaso had, they had that. His vehicle. Okay, the warrant. They had his vehicle longer than Luke, longer than Carlos. Why did they have his vehicle? I think it was 5 or 6 weeks. Think about that, everybody. Why did they have Tommaso and Annie's vehicle for 5 to 6 weeks? I think, on fairness, and I've called Pima County out and the sheriff out plenty of times on my live stream, but I think they are waiting think of it as a puzzle, everybody, and there's that piece of puzzle, maybe two pieces, and I believe they have the information, Michelle, and to which you alluded to. I think they have that information. Remember the thumbnails. Remember those thumbnails they were going to put together, Cash Patel? And the FBI said we had a few thumbnails. We are going to create a video. We didn't hear anything. They don't owe us that. But remember that. Let's not forget, refresh everybody's memory in the chat. And that there could be a little bit of that vehicle, But think about that, everybody. 5 or 6 weeks, the longest out of all the vehicles, and then they released it. Okay, the biggest question, why come they haven't made an arrest? Well, think of, in my opinion, if there is 2 or 3, are they trying to develop all those evidence, together? Because you don't want to go into the prosecution with only 85%. You want 100%. And I don't. Right. Well, that's why this case is so complicated. See, that's another dilemma. See, that's a whole nother situation. Why? Yeah. Right. Right. But just remember, they had a warrant for all those. They're all suspects still, even though they had a warrant and they've been released. And I know there's lawsuits going on, I believe, between Carlos and Luke. Maybe Luke's was dropped, but they're all suspects. And it's a complicated situation. So if they go into this, let's just say, for an example, obvious they don't have anything on the remains. There's nothing there, right? Because they would probably say that although the last couple of days they've been fishing around the backyard and some of the wash there, and the Pima County had a lot of rounds of 8.57s in here, but he can vouch for that. They've had some heavy rain. But think about it. They are probably trying to get that, get some flies here. They're trying to put this together, assuming there's 3 people, assuming there's 2 or 3 people. All right. Or even 1. Let's just say there's 1 person involved. Okay. Same deal. Okay. They got the evidence, but they want to make sure they can go to that prosecution saying, we have no body. Go ahead. Do we go ahead and proceed, or do we go ahead and get a few more evidence? And do we get that DNA? As Sheriff NANOS says, it's all over the world. Now, I don't know about that all over the world, but I think what he meant to say, different locations through the United States. I don't know what he meant by the word. I don't know if he knows what the hell's going on. But think about it, though. 6 weeks they had that car. We haven't heard anything at all from the sister or the son-in-law, or Cameron, the brother. And for me, they're lawyered up. I mean, if anybody thinks they don't have a lawyer, they're definitely lawyered up. So I think that's the complex of it. They're just trying to connect that puzzle or two. There's two pieces. Think of it as a puzzle. Do they go into the with two puzzles missing and they go into the prosecution? I got bees out here. And trying to talk. But that's the complex, in my view, of this complicated case. And it shouldn't have been this complicated, but we'll get into that later on if you want. But yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. And I'm not just saying that, I, I, I mean, I'm a very optimistic person, but I believe sooner than later, um, they're going to get their right leads and probably get somebody to confess where's Nancy Guthrie's remains. It'll be a great story if she's alive. I mean, there's some people think she's alive, and wouldn't that be a great story that we all would need in the whole world? I mean, we need that, right? But assuming she's not, they're waiting, and I think they're getting close. And I can't believe it, but on due all respect of the sheriff, and by the way, both. Let me just call out the FBI too. All right, I get it. The FBI didn't come about. It was sloppy from the get go. Even on the original press conference. But I don't want to jump too far ahead. But it'd be a great story if she's alive. But assuming she's not, I believe sooner or later we're going to have a huge break in this case. Now, it might not lead to the remains right away, but I think we're going to have somebody in custody, and I think that's what's going to happen. Either that, or somebody out there is going to have some child support issues, some trouble with the law, some kind of gross misdemeanor that's going to get into a felony, and they're going to go ahead and say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I got some information." What is that? The Nancy Guthrie. So it's either be that or the FBI and Pima County perhaps work together on this, put the politics aside, and find Nancy and get justice for Nancy. So yeah, I'm with you, Michelle. I think sooner than later, I think this is going to break. Whether it breaks tonight, tomorrow, but at some point it's going to go. I don't think this is going to go on. Well, well, my theory on that is, with all due respect, I think they probably interviewed the family, Savannah, well, Annie, because she lives a couple miles, 5 miles away. They probably said, "Well, what's in that closet? What's missing? What pajamas?" Assuming she was in sleeping. I already gave you my theory. I'm going to go backtrack on it, but assuming she was there, let's open that closet. I know women. I know the girls all have like three, four, five sets, all ages. What's missing? What shoes are missing? I think you said shoes. Right, right, but maybe Annie and Savannah herself went through that closet. Well, this is there. This is there. This. Oh, wait a minute. Those shoes are missing. Those slippers are missing. That pajamas is missing. Right. And I think that's how they came. Because I think they gave a description, didn't they? Or correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they had a description or they had a pajamas back. Maybe somebody in the chat can. I can't see the chat, but I thought they had a description of pajamas. I can't see the chat, but maybe somebody can help us out. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Well, let me better explain. First of all, are they ransom notes? I call them communication, right? Because ransom is when you have a face, a video, or technology. So I know they're calling them ransom, but I'm going to call them communication because ransom, you know, back when we had organized crime, the drug cartel. I mean, you show something, right? And you don't wait 7 days, right? It's 24 hours. That's it. So I call them communication letters. I think obvious somebody had a combination of ChatGPT, um, but I think it was a distraction. You got to get inside. I want everybody in your chat, and I wish I could see the chat, but everybody to get into a bad guy or a bad woman. These crazy people, and they're organizing something that's so horrific and so sad in so many ways. Whether it was one of us, God forbid, our family, or an elderly lady or a child, and how are they going to try to get away? And it's working because it's been what over 194 days, whatever it might be, right? So the communication letters, and I believe you had a person who was set doing that, knowing that you had a person who hired. This is my theory. The mask guy to make it complex. Okay, hire that person like the interview room. Chris McDonough said I with him on this part, and I disagree on some things. Does a great job, by the way. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Amazing talent. But I believe it was a distraction. I think this was a group and one organizing these ransom or communication letters, notes, whatever. And then a person to set up somebody. Sorry, guys, I got bees and everything. And then somebody they hired to go up the door. I'm not so sure the mask guy perp even went in that house either. Okay, and then you had, of course, the king, the boss, the guy who organized all this, right? But then the question is, your chat, well, who did this? Was it the perp? Did he go in? Was it somebody who wrote the letters, or was it the person who was behind the scene who actually did it himself? That's up to you. Or what? Or was she was already gone? She never got in a house. That's right. Yeah, and another thing, I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but you can Bluetooth with the pacemaker. Let's say I'm here and the crime happened another state. That's still connected. Does that make sense? Think of it. I like you're in the gym, you're listening to music, and you go a little too far, and your phone's not there, but it's still connected, right? That Bluetooth is still connected. You can't, we won't go through Bluetooth, but that connection's still there. See, I have a hard time how they're not able to track that. Yes or no? Because that's still a connection on far as I know with the. Good point. Good point. That's an excellent point, Michelle. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that's why we're not getting those thumbnails. They call them thumbnails video. I think that's the reason they're not exposing it. Because I thought about this the other day. I even mentioned one of my lives. I go, why don't they just show it to the public? This is the time to do it now. Because if the perp is in Tucson or even Arizona, well, hey, the media or aside from the media, the people that are there shopping out and about, banks, whatever. Oh, wait a minute. We've seen a little bit more image. I do believe they have more image, but then I think about it and I'm like, well, if they do expose it and the perp is close by for whatever reason, I don't think he is anymore, but then it just can, again, like I said a few minutes ago, then that could just mess up the prosecution, assuming, like you said a little while ago, if there's no remains, no body. at the moment. I think you're eventually you will, but mm, yeah, I will. Okay. Mhm. Sure. What I wish to do real quickly before we move on, the only thing I criticize is to have a male's voice. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. What did I just start here? No. You keep hearing Savannah. Here, another voice period, but Cameron, let him come on, not a press conference, not a press conference, just a 2 minute and him saying similar words to Savannah, because that can trigger something. Maybe not, but perhaps if the perp, and I believe the perp is watching, Nation, News Nation, some of the live streams, whatever, just have a different voice, whether it's a male voice. I say Cameron because he's the son, or even Tomas or Annie, or a distant relative, a cousin who's got, right? Why not somebody else? I want everybody to think about it in your chat. Why not another voice? They don't owe us anything. What they owe is, I mean, I know if it was my family and I'm out there all the time, or I'm sure yourself, would it be time to have another voice in the family to come out for 2, 3 minutes and go public on a local news network or even a radio station? I mean, somewhere. I question. Yeah, I don't get that part. That's the thing I'm questioning. That's the part. And then just to backtrack just for about 30 seconds, I'm not going to get into a whole thing with Nanos, but I will say I don't understand why he's going to these low budget radio stations, local news, and no disrespect to that young man. He did an excellent job, but why not go on the middle News Nation, Brian Etten for 10 minutes? You know. So why do too? Well, I have a I that is exactly right, but there's something else I wanna add. You have Fox now, not this isn't political, guys. You have Fox on one, you have CNN on the other, you have News Nation kinda down the middle. It's nothing personal about Brian Eaton. My theory is he's making it politics. He's making it a little bit political, all right? So, I don't think it's Brian Eaton. I just think he works for who? News Nation. Um Not to get too far off topic, that's just mine, but you're also right. I think he knows the questions. That's why he's going on. No disrespect. Yeah, good. Wow, wow, wow. Well, at least you got something back because I wrote out, "You wanna hear it?" And I got nothing back. In Italian, I got "un gats" back, which for YouTube, I got nothing. So I wrote, "I got nothing." No. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. Oh, here it is. Yep. So, all right. So, dear Sheriff Chris Nanos, okay, my name is Salvatore Capano, and I am an independent journalist on YouTube. First, I hope you're doing well. I got a few cigars for you. I'm only kidding. You got to laugh a little bit, guys. There's nothing laughing about Nancy Guthrie. We got to find her, but we got to. Um, I am reaching out regarding Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case, which has now been ongoing for approximately 6 months. This was written last week, maybe 10 days ago. I would greatly appreciate the opportunity to conduct a brief interview with you. I understand that it's been extremely difficult and complex investigation. I believe the interview would provide you an opportunity to address the public and clarify you are able to share about the case and help people better understand some of the challenges and developments surrounding the investigation of Pima County. I truly appreciate the work you and your team are doing in this difficult time. My thoughts and prayers are with the Guthrie family as they continue to seek answers. Thank you considering my request. I would greatly the opportunity, to speak with you at your convenience. God bless you and thank you for your service. And I signed it. It's right here, and I got nothing back. So, I mean, you can't go any nicer than that. I was pretty nice. I mean, yeah, I can hear you. Oh, take your. Yeah, you're back. Yeah. Yeah, and Michelle, because I don't want to, go back on everything that a lot of people in the chat probably knows, and and go over his past because that's old news, not old news, but I think he's embarrassed. And I think the AG, Attorney General, I think even the governor and representatives are probably telling him, hey, even though we're all quote unquote in bed together, we're all together you need to go out and say something. But that's why he's doing it on these low budget stations. Don't disrespect that young man. And that young man did great. He did something how I would do it. He made like he was winning. You know how you make like he's in charge, but he intimidated. He tore him apart. He did a good job. But yeah, I don't understand. But I think he's a sheriff who is he that stupid? Is he ready to retire or is he in on it? In Italian, if you're stupid or real stupid or you're in on it, you got to go. You got to go. There's you can't be in there. But yeah, I think he might. I think he's going to surprise everybody. I think they're going to feel the pressure on him. I wouldn't be surprised he has an interview with you or 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 or, or Max or yeah, Tibby. Yeah, yeah. Good for you. Good for you. Nice. Excuse me. No, I'm good. I'm good. Whoa! Who are these good looking? Who are these guys? Good to see you, Matt. It- oh, my view? Yeah, it's very nice. This is my therapy, natural therapy. Yeah. Yeah, off topic, everybody. Everybody, I recommend go to a beach, go to the woods, do something by yourself, even if it's just for a day. It really helps your well being. But with that said, welcome in, guys. Oh, there's only 30. I feel so bad. Yeah, shoot. So they can hear us. They can hear me, or they can. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me go on in. Uh, Yeah, the camera likes you, Max. Max, right? The camera likes you. My pleasure. All right, thank you. So, Shibby, real quick. Sorry, Michelle. We'll move on. So you said to do what, Shibby? Go on and oh yeah, there I am. Okay. Did okay. Michelle, can you go and leave your link? Um, there you go. So, Shibby, how are you? How you been? Okay. How's Canada? Good. And raw, bees. You can see there's bees. You see me waving my hand around. I got bees everywhere over here. That's exactly what it is. Oh, good. Okay. I did. Take your time. Perfect. Yeah. If everybody's listening, go to cases and conversation. Am I correct, Michelle? So I apologize, guys, for not the audio, but they can hear me, right? But they just can't see me. So I apologize, guys. Okay, I'm going into yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly right. That, that's correct, Shippy. And see that red arrow that Brian Hinton put in there? That is supposedly where the FBI were searching in that one of the spots they were looking. That's why he put that. Okay, just so the audience knows, that's where that red arrow is. That's where his sources, Brian Hinton, I quote from the neighbors, what they seen, how they seen it. I don't know, drones or they were back there as well. But yeah, Shippy's exactly right. An alley. Yep. Yeah. It does make sense. Pause it right there, Michelle, if you could. Okay, so Maureen, what she's saying is, so the audience gets a perspective. What they're saying is, like I said with the yellow tape, that crime scene should have been. You don't go opposite, small and then wide, right? Because this is what they did, right? They went small and then they're going wide. In a sense, eliminating the streamers. Well, before the streamers, one way street, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's what Marine is alluding to. Is that was a mess up there? I mean, like I said earlier in the beginning, the tape, the crime scene, they didn't do that, and then they went opposite, in my opinion, right? Well, I want everybody to think of this real quick, if I could. So you got the streamers, all the news, and I would have been there, most of us, because you want to cover it. Where's Nancy? You know, you want to show the audience, make it awareness. Okay, I was shocked. You know, Michelle, you asked me earlier about the. Oh, sorry for the bees. I said about the tape and the crime tape, but I was shocked. Even my mom, and she rest in peace, was even what's going on over there? You know, how the hell did they have the news and all the media have them 500 feet? Because that front of the house was a crime scene. What if there was a bubblegum wrapper, a cigarette? I think Maureen even said that, you know, evidence, and one of the news media, mainstream media streamers accidentally picked it up, threw it in the garbage. Well, that could have been evidence. I mean, I'm just saying. So, the pool guy, the landscaping guy, and there was a, by the way, there was a drip system. We all know what the drip systems are in the desert. We have it was broken, and that water. I don't know if everybody's aware of this. There was that vampire stuff, Michelle, on your channel. I want to be careful. That vampire stuff, that red stuff, was on the driveway too. Did anybody know that? A little bit. So if that water, sorry guys, it's South Philly, but that water it goes could have washed that away, and it did. Well, there was a little spot. So that's what Marine is saying. You go big, but they went opposite, and then make it a one-way street, and then chasing the streamers away, and all the everything's history. Well, first of all, my theory is I have a family who owns a funeral parlor. Where am I going with this? I, you imagine I was a little kid working down there. I'm like, what the hell's going on over here? Get me out of here. You imagine a young seeing all that stuff? What are my parents doing to me? But I don't know if everybody's aware of this. If a body's unalive for approximately a few minutes, the, the blood red drops can drop from the body externally. So say her blood, her excuse me, her look at my skin thin. If it's skin, if she was had a little nick and they, I don't want to get too graphic on your channel, Michelle, but let's just say we'll make it easy. They grabbed her and then she was unalive and they carried her out, assuming she was in the house or not in the house. I'm going to go off on this. Say she wasn't in the house. I think this was all a distraction. That's a possibility that that blood was from that body being unalive, and they made that blood to go, carry her there, knowing there was no camera there, and that could explain some of those drops. I know a lot of people think it's a nosebleed and ear bleed, or her skin being thin, and or blood thinners. But think about that. Blood can possibly come out for a few minutes. I can't remember exact amount of minutes, but it's in a few minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes is what. Right. Exactly. It wouldn't be as heavy. It would explain that perhaps. Yeah. Again, it's so complex. Again, here we go. It's so complex, but it could, if what I'm saying, if it's true, boy, I tell you how that it makes it even more complicated, right? Indeed, they went there and carried that body there real quick just to plant some of that blood to throw, ladies and gentlemen, the whole thing way off. I mean, let me ask you this, Shivy, though, and true, that's true. I mean, it's a possibility. Would you? Let's get inside the bad guy, bad women, assuming he was a male or the purple. That was the purple, whatever. Would you take a chance and go out that front door, Matt? Anybody in the chat can answer that. Would you take that chance? And I know it's dark. I know it's in the morning. I know. Would you take that chance and go out that door with the body, or would you go through the back door? I'm just asking. Mm, interesting. Yeah, so these are all possibilities, and we're not even sure, guys, if that blood was there that night or days before. Go ahead, Matt. Mhm. I wanna go back to real quick. I wanna go back to the car. There, like Shibby alluded to, we don't know. They might know. Well, I like to kinda keep it simple. We don't know if there was a horse and buggy, a car, a motorcycle, a truck, I heard. We don't know. We just don't, so we gotta take it, okay, no vehicle. Now, again, they did have 5 or 6 weeks of the CRV Tomaso's car, more longer than any of the other suspects that they detain and arrest, well, detain. So we gotta keep it where there's no vehicle, right? So we gotta kinda stay, I like stay in that box because where's the vehicle? You know, there's nothing. Exactly, exactly. We don't have it. Can you bring out Shivy? I don't know. You're real good on this technology. Do you guys? And I'm asking the chat this too. Do you remember the wreath? There was a wreath, and I realized, okay, Sal, it wasn't a Christmas wreath. You know, some people just have a wreath all year long. I know my mom. A lot of the old timers had. Everybody had a wreath. They never took that wreath. Now I don't know. I haven't been out there, so maybe when you get out there, Matt, Michelle, see if you can zoom in on that because let's just say for the first 4 months, I'm 100%. There was no Matt's. I'm saying Matt. Sorry, Michelle's that. That wreath that never take. You know, was there evidence taken off that? You know, why did they not take that wreath to the lab? Because again, you have News Nation, you had people, pizza guy, this, that, whatever, walking there, and again, that's more of prints that were all messed up. But yeah, remember there was a wreath that was sitting there. I know up until the JLR was there, at least the first 3 months, there was a wreath there. Maybe is it? Okay, yeah, he's still there, right? That's crazy. There was a wreath, yes, right on the left hand side, I believe. There was a wreath. Exactly. That's it. Right. Yeah. I mean, it could be nothing. He maybe never touched it, but still, it's a crime scene. You know what I mean? This isn't like going into a Starbucks and ordering the wrong call. You know, this is everything should be that you can visualize. I mean, they should know that. But again, I don't want to get too much into that. Floppy. Oh yeah. Yeah. You would think. I think she was talking to Nanos and the perp. Mhm. Yeah. I mean, us Italians, I wouldn't be able to bite my tongue. I mean, my tongue would have been all. I would have sores all over the place. I would have been. Well, she's doing a good job on her defense. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings, but I think, yeah, to your point, I think that was directly to the person or the plural, the people who did this and Nanos. If you listen to her, I don't have it in front of me again, but if you want to bring it up, I think you're asking me, that was going out to the people and Nanos. And I think she's pissed. And I think she's trying to stay calm because sometimes when you call out the sheriff department, it could make things worse, because now you have my opinion, a sloppy investigation, and we're not going to get all into it. And now you start questioning. It's better what she's doing if it's true and she's not communicating with him. But yes, I think she was communicating with the sheriff and the people who did this. Interesting. I think that's part of it, Matt. I also think that, I mean, let's face it, 6 months. I think she's just fed up. I think the family's fed up. Cameron's fed up. I think she's trying to keep it cool. I think Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised that she does have a private investigator. I know people are saying, "Well, we haven't heard it." Well, they don't owe us anything, and we don't know that, right? Um, I think she's only gonna I think she's only communicating, excuse me, to the FBI, and I wouldn't be surprised if she had a private investigator. Mm, mhm. Good point. Good point. Mhm. So you think let's just say this, when you are I don't know how long she's been with NBC, show, 20 years? Maybe somebody in the chat can help us out. But there's people out there that are obsessed. It happens all the time, and who just I'm just throwing another again, I like to stay in the box, but it's a possibility. Somebody was obsessed, whether they liked her, loved her, never met her, maybe somebody in Pima County, maybe somebody in the foothills there, the beautiful sunset in Tucson that we see. And eventually, most recently, just said, "Hey, she's not showing me any attention." You know, um, but my question is, why mom? Because what you were saying, and they had. I think you were referring to Nancy was on. I don't know what year was it recently. Okay. Oh, okay. Hmm. So you think it exposed? So that at that point it got exposed, and then okay, it got in their heads to go ahead and do this horrific crime. I mean, it's possible, Michelle. I mean, that's we hear this through the chat rooms and other networks, mainstream media, and former detectives and FBI. It's a possibility, but why the mom? And thank God it's not the kids. She has kids. Why not? I mean, thank God, right? But why the mom? Why? What purpose? Yeah, interesting. Very well could be. Very well. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Mm. Yeah. That is a good question, Michelle. I agree with Matt. I would say the thumbnails. I would say those thumbnails. I go back to that they're trying. The FBI is very well. They got that together. I would say that's. That was that. What was your question? Yeah, your question was our thoughts on what. Sorry. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I see thumbnails. So, yeah. Correct. Well, excuse me. Well, we know it's not the DNA, right? Because if it was the DNA, it's not. Let's just say conversation purpose, they got it back, right? You know, it's not that because there's no arrest. So you almost got to put that aside. Yes or no. So it's got to be the camera. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Michelle? Oh, go ahead, Shippy. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go back to your thought. Right. Hey, Joe. What's your thoughts, Matt? Max, sorry, excuse me. I apologize. Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Well, hold that thought. Yeah, hold that thought about the cold case. You guys, we're still going out with this. We're all we're all streaming. Us, Shivy, right? JR, News Nation, Fox, CNN, all of them. They're all covering it, right? It's not like it was in the 70s and 80s when you had your newspaper and one news channel. So as long as we're all covering it, large channels, small channels, beginner channels, it's a live case. It's gone, right? Is that are you with me? Because when you had back in the 70s and 80s, even early 90s, when the newspaper said, okay, there's nothing else to talk about, well, then it went cold. Doesn't mean they won't solve it. But since it's out there, people are talking about it, people are out there searching, and it's an open case in my mind. No, nothing. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. Yeah. Yeah. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Excuse me one second, Michelle. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shivy, you there? Correct me if I'm wrong. 857 Tucson. Happy birthday! A couple days ago, I wished him happy birthday, Damien. There is a law, and is it Pima County, Shivy? Correct me if I'm wrong, or is it Arizona? I can't remember that you can't have billboards. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So, Michelle, I think some I just some kind of a law and it can't be changed. Well, I mean, anything can happen, but am I right? Am I saying that right? Was it, or is it just Tucson? Yeah. Interesting. So I don't know, Michelle, but yeah, I agree, Michelle. I mean, hey, I don't care what the hell the law is. And by the way, why isn't, I hate to repeat with the interview room, but he's right. Why not the perp out there in a big, have Nancy there and then the perp large, because that's who you want. Those, he knows something, whether he was in the house, not in the house, yada, yada, yada. That's the person. Somebody's seen him. Home Depot, Walmart, doctor's office, went to school with him, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Somebody knows him. That I can't understand. That's great point, Chevy. Excellent point. Yes, I don't know. I don't know why they're not. Or they did, and they're just again, like I said in the beginning, these are evidence, and they just don't want to. They're waiting for that one piece of that puzzle or two pieces of the puzzle to complete. That's crazy. Right. By the way, real quick off topic, can you believe I haven't got stung yet? Did I just jinx myself with all these bees? Think about that, everybody in the chat. I didn't get stung. You know what it is? It's the Italian blood, the cigar. Uh, we love you, Shibby. Yeah, I'm sorry, Michelle. Yeah. The Italian guy from yeah, yeah. You're asking me? Oh, what? I'm sorry. The Shibby's got what? Something in his pocket? Yes. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, interesting. What was it? What was in the pockets? What was in that? Yeah. Right. You just read my mind. We didn't see him going in. Yeah. Wait a minute. Where's my wallet at? Oh shit. No, no, that wasn't a joke, guys. I mean, yeah. Oh, okay. Anyhow, sorry, guys. I'm back. I know a lot of people thought I was going somewhere. I wasn't. Okay. Go ahead, Michelle. I'm sorry. I didn't say it. I mean, wouldn't it? Yeah, wouldn't it be a great to wake up tomorrow and say, I mean, we want this to end, right? So, I mean, I plan on going out there in 3 weeks, but I don't want to go out there. I mean, I'm hoping that let's hope and pray to somebody that they can wrap this up. I think it's going to happen. Time frame, we just don't know. Again, they got the pieces in my mind. I have a lot of friends in law enforcement. My uncle. And by the way, I was trying to bribe somebody, Michelle. I don't know if they were. I have an FBI friend. I tried to bribe him, guys, with a cigar, and he said he was going to call in, but I think things got a little mixed up. But next time, he says to me, and I quote, "Sal, you're a little hard on that sheriff." I go, "Whoa, am I?" Because a lot of you are. So, I don't think I'm hard on him, but he thinks yes, he thinks, guys, that there's so much that we just don't know, and it's going to happen. I mean, you got to think about it. Elizabeth Smart was 9 months, right? I think that's why a lot of people move in that area, particularly, retirements, because they want to see that beautiful. I'm going to see tonight. Well, I won't see tonight because it's going to rain, cloudy. But the stars we heard from Savannah, she liked bobcats, I believe, and the beautiful sunsets that were exposed from the streamers. That's why a lot of people live out there. They want that dark. That's what they want. They who thought this was going to happen. Hmm. Oh, now I want everybody. Excuse me, real quick, Michelle. Hold on. Tomorrow night, come over to I'm only kidding, guys. I'm going to do a camping video, and we're going to hear. Yeah, I will. I will. I'm going to do it, guys. We're having a little fun. So if anybody ain't doing anything around this time, maybe a little later, come on in and have your marshmallows. Shibby, you got my email. Well, yeah, yeah. But go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry, Michelle. Go ahead, Michelle. I'm listening. Yeah. By the way, excuse me, Michelle, you got some good, tough questions there, young lady. Good job. Well done. Go ahead. Yeah. And it's Max, not Matt. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to apologize, but yeah. Um, but you yeah, two X's. Okay. Sal, I'm Italian. You got to tell me a couple times. But you're right, Michelle. You do a good job. And some good questions, tough questions. You were prepared. You're talking about the people allegedly the suspects, not the remains. Go let's talk about the remains first. Me, when people do a crime, the longer you go, the theories of Mexico. My wife, she's in Mexico. God bless. Yeah, but the longer you drive, the longer you go, the more your chances getting caught. I believe that most of us aren't going to be surprised, and they're going to find. I don't want to get too graphic on your channel, but they're going to find different parts of the body. We say that in that area within 5-10 mile zone. Yeah, you might find one piece in a garbage or something like that. Again, I don't want to get too graphic. And as far as the suspects, plural, you know, the question I have, why didn't they rat? Well, I tell you why they didn't rat. There's no cash out yet, right? There's no, forget the Bitcoin. I mean, don't forget it, but you know what I mean? There's no house. They can't sell the house, right? And by the way, the house is not for sale. I had a source just to clarify that house cannot be sold because there's no remains. But um, I believe you have three suspects, and I believe all three suspects are in that area. And why they haven't wrapped? Because there's no cash prize. But once things get out there, you're for sure. You take four of us on the panel, right? We're all together. But once there's money involved, 90% of one person is going to say, "Hey, what about my piece?" Why? It's just the way it is. But to your question, Michelle, they're in that area. The bodies, the remains, are in that area, and I believe the people who done this are in that area. Well, again, we don't have a car, right? There's no car. So I mean, so they had to do something with that body. Did they just, as Shivy says, they just put over her shoulder and walk through the backyard and what did they do? I mean, how could you? Did they just go ahead and bury out there where the FBI was at? I mean, they drag her out there. This is to the panel and then end the chat. I mean, if there's no car, I mean, it's a pop. Hey, that's not too far. I don't think it's too far out of the question. Oh, you said backpack. I mean, yeah. I mean, they would have had that planted out there. No, I mean, but then why would they drag her? Yeah, but Shivy, I know you probably heard this 100 different times on other streamers or just friends and relatives. It's still dead weight. It's still, and you got to understand, it's scary. No. You're right too, though. But then, I mean, think about this, Max and Michelle. You got to take that body. You're nervous. I mean, come on. I don't care if they've been studying this. You got to be nervous. Oh yeah, sure. God bless you. Yeah. So, but the wheelchair would have to be out there somewhere, not too far fetched, but not in the backpack. I mean, how could you? I'm trying to think. I mean, no. Mm. They're not going to attack you. They have to come through me first. But go ahead. No, I mean that's not too far. I mean, you know. Sure. But going back to the car, there's no car, so so you got to. Okay, I keep thinking. Sorry, Max, but yeah, you're thinking. Well, that backyard. Did they drag her through that backyard? I think that's what we're talking about. Possibility, right? Correct. Right. Does anybody in the chat think it's a solo? Does anybody in your chat? I wish. Okay, I finally can see the chat here. Whoa. Um. Okay. Does anybody in the chat or on the panel actually think one person can carry out this horrific crime? Anybody? I mean, put a one in the chat if you think it's possible that one person. You do? Got it. And Max, would you use the plants to actually cover up the camera? And that goes to you too, Michelle. Real quick. Sorry, Michelle. And Joe came over to your channel and became a member too. I think I just seen that. Did you see that? Okay. Thank you. No, notice, Chevy. Appreciate you. And Michelle, did I interrupt you? Did you have I think were you gonna were you in the middle of another question to us or to me? Was there so oh, I think Shivy said that. I mean, who the hell knows? I mean, yeah. Right. Mhm. Oh, okay, I remember that. Yes, thanks for okay, got it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, who very nice. Good. A and I'm able to first finally, at the end here, read the chat. Thank you for those who are, uh first of all, thanks for those on my channel subscribing to Michelle and Shibby, and Max too. Max has a channel. And, for those who are coming over from Michelle to mine, I just wanna say on behalf of all of us on here, we greatly appreciate you guys. We could not do it without any of you, so thank you. Okay. Very nice. Congratulations. Very nice. Yeah. Is my chat still going? I don't even see it. Oh, okay. Uh, I feel so bad. Okay. Thank you. We we got the Italian crew. We got Shabby over here. We got Maxie. We got Michelle. We got uh, hey, Melanie. Sorry, guys, we're getting a little goofy, but I enjoyed this. Did you have anything else? Anybody else? Oh, you rock. Thank you. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Missy. Oh, Missy. We love Missy. Oh, very nice. Can I just say something though? Shibby, you have this relaxing, not to put us to sleep, Shibby, please. You have such a great, calm, collective. I mean, aren't we all so much of it? You do a good job, Shibby. I just wanted to say that. So, yeah, my pleasure. I mean that. Yeah, come down. Well, wait till you're 60 this year. I'll be 60. Then you'll say, "Whoa!" You just get more hyper. Now I'm just kidding. Yeah. Miss Joe, you imagine you and I together somewhere talking and people would they would get these. Who are these guys? Who are these Italians? Get rid of them over here. Nice. Congratulations. Mhm. Right. A great point. Hey, what's up, Alex? No, I agree. No, I have not been out there. This was the day I was supposed to be here. Yeah, and I tore my tricep, and I got my wife's birthday's next week. So look, I hope I don't have. I don't want. I mean, my plans are to go out there, soon, but I don't want to. I mean, I want this to be solved. I want. We want to wake up and hear that they find justice for Nancy Guthrie. But yeah, I was supposed to go out this week, but I tore my tricep, so here we are camping. It's getting dark, but yeah, no, I have not been out there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got some thunder and lightning. I'm going to hang out for another minute or two, but I'm looking at the sky, and well, mosquitoes and bees. I can get bit, and I got to smoke my cigar. My wallet, my cigar. It was a pleasure to be on here with everybody, and God bless everybody. And where's Nancy? Let's find Nancy and justice. This can't go on anymore. They got to find it. But again, Elizabeth Smart, 9 months. That's what we were talking about a little while ago, real quick. And that there's always hope. Thank you. Absolutely, yes. And give Shibby, you have my information. It's a I can okay. Yeah, I'll be checking you guys out there. Matt, I'm sorry, Max. I'll be, I'm only kidding. I'll be checking you guys out and watching. Yeah. Let me know if you want me to come on and give you a perspective. Absolutely. Yes. Go ahead. Hey guys, the doors are open. We got sausages and peppers and whatever. My doors are open, guys. Anybody wants to come to Vegas, and we good. I'm coming. There you go. Yeah, and most importantly, before I eat, we make sure I just want to mention this. My wife will be upset. We help out the homeless in Las Vegas metropolitan, so we're blessed in our chat, and we can get and forward it to the less fortunate. But that's some good stuff you guys want to watch. You get some tears in your eye, some joy in your eye, and that's all we can do is try. And that goes for everybody on here, 1 hour at a time, one day at a time. God bless you all. Thank you, Michelle. You were great. Stevie, I owe you. Thank you. Yes. And Max, the camera likes you. All right. Bye bye, guys. Have a good night, guys. Take care. God bless.